Alright, Scott William here, your host for the Political Porn Theater. We have some more liberal crazies to look at, so here's another one.
But where the fuck is the babysitter-elect? And you motherfuckers that voted in this whole goddamn mess.
Can they speak without swearing at all? I know I swear too sometimes, but not every damn sentence.
What the fuck? You voted for lower egg prices and grocery prices and gas prices and border walls and, let's deport those dangerous immigrants.
This was from January 9th, mind you. Trump's not even president yet. He'll be president on the 20th.
And let's not forget the single issue voters, because he's really going to fix that, isn't he? Yeah. He's right on top of that. No. What we're really worried about is we're worried about changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. That's a top priority. We're worried about possibly starting 3 wars. We're worried about obliterating women's rights and trans rights. We're not worried about the homelessness problem. We're worried about Melania Trump getting a fucking $40,000 check from Grizos for a C-level documentary about her goddamn life. Who fucking cares? We have people in our lives that will go and research 64 different fans just to make sure they're buying the right one. But God forbid you ask them to sit down and research 2 presidential candidates to make sure we're headed in the right goddamn direction. And they can't even be bothered. They can't even see how a well-educated, God damn it! They can't see how she was so much better than him. A rapist felon.
Biden and Tara Reid. You should look that up.
Nope, let's go with the people screaming they're eating dogs and cats. Let's go with the billionaires that wouldn't piss on you if you...
The country of Chile passed a law saying that pets are not... You can't eat pets. Because why? Because they have Haitians there. So yeah, it happens.
You were on fire. Let's go with the people that can't fucking string a sentence together without using sentence strips. Honest to God, if you know me in real life and you interact with me on the daily...
Thank God I don't know her in real life, and I wouldn't interact with her either.
And you voted for this piece of shit, and you voted for this fascism, stay the hell away from me. Honest to God. Stay away from me. And if I don't know you and you see this, stay off my page. He won't do fuck all to improve this country or any other goddamn country for that matter. You voted out of racism and misogyny. You voted because he hates who you hate. Plain and simple. But
I think she's going to be single for the rest of her life.
I've had it up to my eyeballs listening to the fucking bullshit coming out of that orange son of a bitch's mouth. From threatening to annex Canada to renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Woohoo!
Invading
Gulf of America.
Greenland and Panama Canal. Have you people lost your goddamn minds, MAGA? Have you lost your fucking minds?
Nope.
Do you not understand what you have done?
More clear. My mind's more clear than ever.
No, apparently not, because you're all sharp as fucking marbles, okay?
Now we're sharp as fucking tacks.
He is going to destroy not only that country that you live in, he's going to destroy this whole fucking world. And it's all on you, you sons of bitches. You fucking morons, you idiots. I am just spitting fucking nails right now because this is getting out of hand. It's every fucking day that he has to spew some kind of bullshit and threats. Like he thinks he's the fucking king of the world. I hope when you start to...
He is the king of the world. He's the most powerful man in the entire world, and he's not even president yet.
Suffer, MAGA, you suffer fucking bad. I hope that you people are rotting after he's done. Because you deserve it.
Ooh. Well.
Republicans are so fucking hypocritical, it's actually insane. They spent the entire past election talking about how Trump was gonna make things cheaper, and now that he's publicly come out and said that he actually can't do that, and instead
did say that
Ed is gonna invade Greenland and Canada and change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, they seem totally fine with it. Because guess what? It was never about cheaper groceries. In fact, many of these people live in 5-6 bedroom houses, make over $200,000 a year.
Most of us don't.
And are totally fine. They were just using this as an excuse to hide their racism and sexism because they didn't want you to know that they didn't vote for Kamala Harris because
What are you, by the way?
she's a black woman, not because
I think she's Indian, right?
she's unqualified, and not because of the economy.
She's unqualified.
Republicans
And the economy sucks.
are so fucking hypocritical.
Oh, that's all we had to say, huh? All right, fine.
Why? Mexico is right there. America, Mexico, Gulf of Mexico. What the fuck does it matter? And Mexico don't belong to you. Canada don't. You want to go to war with Canada to own?
No, he does not want to go to war with Canada. He's going to use economic war with Canada, so they'll get a better deal, basically.
Oh, fuck my head. To go to war? You want to go to war with Canada?
She makes a video and then she's worried about her hair.
You want?
And she got the mental illness nose ring, of course, too.
On Greenland, like, the fuck is wrong with you, you dumb Darth Cheeto ass bitch?
Look at her.
What is wrong with you, senile old fuck? Our country is ruined.
Country is ruined. It's been ruined by the Democrats.
I want to talk to those of you who voted for Donald Trump, not those of you who are in the cult with the red hats and you go to his rallies and you think that everything that he says is gospel truth.
I've never been to a rally, but I have watched quite a few of them. And I don't think everything he says is gospel truth. He was wrong about the most safe and effective thing ever. So let's see what else this idiot has to say.
And he's the smartest this and the greatest that. Not you people. You guys you're out there. You are far beyond reach with logic and reason. You're full-on members of a cult. Not talking to you. I'm talking to you normal, or at least semi-normal people who aren't part of the cult. You don't worship Donald Trump, but yet you still voted for him because of the price of eggs or the price of gas. Or you don't really like Donald Trump, but things were better when Donald Trump was president. Yeah, you people. I'm talking to you people. Did you see his press conference yesterday? That batshit crazy press conference that is so unbecoming a president of the United States. You thought you were listening to a guy in a corner of an insane asylum rambling to himself instead of an incoming president of the United States. Is that what you voted for?
Yes.
Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico, which we can't do. We don't own the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, there's a reason for why he wants to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico. We'll get to that.
We can call it whatever we want, but the rest of the world doesn't have to go along with it. Or invading Panama to take back the Panama Canal, or going to war with Denmark over Greenland, or making Canada the 51st state somehow. All of this nonsense, none of which he talked about during the campaign. You know, he promised you that he would lower the price of eggs. That's why you voted for him, right? Did you vote for all this nonsense? No, of course not. And none of this stuff is going to happen, by the way. This is all just entertainment. This is all just
Oh, he's wrong. We are going to get Panama back. Greenland will probably just make a great deal with them. And Canada will make a great deal with them. This idiot needs to read the art of the deal. And that's what Trump is doing. Now, I mean, if Panama doesn't cooperate, we will take it back militarily, because it is our canal. We built it. We died. We paid blood and treasure for that. And the deal that even Carter made, giving it away for $1, which I said at the time was ridiculous, is that they could never let a foreign power like China have control of it. Right now, China controls 2 of the 5 locks. So, yeah. We can't have China there. Our ships go through there. We count on free access to the canal, and they're charging us more than anybody else. I mean, they're just treating us poorly, just like Trump said.
Take your mind off the fact that he's not going to do a damn thing he told you he was going to do. When are you going to wake up? It doesn't really matter, I guess, if you wake up or not, since the damage is already done.
Damage is already done. Damage is done. He's not even president yet. The damage is done by Biden. Biden has screwed up everything. He screwed up the world. The world has gone crazy. He pushed Russia into Chinese arms.
Anybody else low-key kind of like hoping that Canada gets offended enough to like I'm not saying that would like need to be a war with Canada. I'm just saying, like, I'd surrender. Ah.
So she thinks Canada's going to kick our butt and we're going to surrender to Canada? Oh, Lord. Not very smart, is she? Oh, it's Joyless Reed.
Why would conservatives think fact-checking is biased against them?
Because it is.
I mean, what are you sharing if you
Truth?
keep getting fact-checked
We're
for
sharing the
false
truth.
information?
We're sharing the truth.
Think about it.
Think
What were
about it.
conservatives sharing on Meta that was getting flagged so much?
The truth?
Were they spreading false information?
Are they spreading the truth and you don't
And
like
why
the
were they
truth?
so eager? And why are Republicans in general so eager to end the idea of fact-checking?
Why do you have blonde hair? Are you culturally appropriating our blonde hair?
What are they trying to share?
Why?
What is the
The
motivation
truth.
for not wanting it to be fact-checked?
Why are you afraid of people having differences of opinion and let people make up their mind for themselves? Why are you afraid of that?
If you are wondering why we will never have free college in the United States and why we will continue to lag behind other countries in reading and writing, it's because the only voter base that is still voting Republican is...
Maybe it's because we're lagging and all that stuff because you're, instead of teaching reading and writing, you're teaching kids how to cut off their private parts and try and become something they can never become. Instead, they're doing and teaching communism rather than teaching the basics like reading and writing and arithmetic. But yeah. Let's see what else he has to say.
non-college educated whites. If non-college educated whites didn't vote in this election, Kamala Harris would have won in a landslide. The reason that there will never be free college is because people who have a college education vote Democrat.
I have a college education. I never voted Democrat.
The reason that we will never have free college in the United States of America is because non-college educated whites are the only voter base continuing to prop up the Republican Party. And the only way the Republican Party can stay in power is by making sure that as few white people get a college education as possible.
Actually, that's not true. The ones that are making sure that as few white people get a college education as possible are Democrats with affirmative action and things like that. They're trying to keep white people out of college in favor of people that aren't white. I'm not sure college is such a great thing anymore. I mean, in some cases you do need college. You need a college degree to get a certain profession, and sometimes I think you really don't need that college degree, but that's the way it is nowadays. And obviously they're not doing a very good job anymore of teaching our students, and especially on college and high school level. It's just gotten so bad that if I had kids, I would homeschool them for sure, and they would be a whole lot smarter than your average Democrat, that's for sure.
I'm assuming that you're being a little facetious as you ask that, so I'm going to respond to you in this way.
Somebody said to this woman, how is the checkmate going?
Just to explain checkers, it's a game of abstract strategy.
Well, she's so smucking fart.
And by that, it is a game where you must play with precise and elite perfection of your understanding.
Talk about checkers? I think she means chess, but...
Of the rules. It means that you are going to have random and not predictable plays. It's a game where you're going to have long range, long term, thought out to the very end to make sure that when you say checkmate, the mate is truly checked.
Oh, that explains it all.
Checked. So expecting that the end is going to be when you think so is checkers.
Okay.
Now, I'm aware of contracts and law based on my understanding of real estate. Now, I've said before and I'll say again that no matter who is in office, I must sell real estate to pay for my elite vacations. I like to have several. So that's what I truly stay focused on, is my perfection of the law for my clients. But if I were someone who was a politician or someone who was projecting to be a president, I would have an elite, perfect understanding of how to play the game of politics. And if I were trying to catch a thief, and I laid out a long-range trap on how to set them, or catch them is really what I want to say, I probably wouldn't have caught them on the date that you or even I expect the catching, the trapping, if you will, to take place. I'm not going to say the game is over until the 20th comes along. Now, if you want to declare it over today, that's fine. That is up to you and your right. I might be discouraged because it's not going the way that I anticipate, but I'm not going to give up until the 20th.
Oh, I can't wait to see your response after tomorrow.
I just saw Meta's update and I am truly appalled at where social media and this world is going. Like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but facts are not political. They are not Democrats. They are not Republicans. Facts are not one-sided.
Oh yeah, they're totally political. Democrat facts are lies.
Facts are facts, and that's it.
And she got the mental health nose ring there too, the mental insanity nose ring.
I thought we all learned that in 10th grade in world history when there's a whole
You had to wait till 10th grade to learn that?
week dedicated to figuring out what's a fact versus an opinion. And it should have raised so many red flags for you that people want to make facts political. Like,
Of course they're political.
this isn't Germany in 1933.
It's Germany in the 1920s, basically. Hopefully Trump can turn it around.
It's starting to get really, really hard to tell the difference between that time period and now in America. Please educate yourself on what facts are, what they look like, and why they are not political.
Of course they're political. Everything's political. And Democrats made it that way.
The Gulf of America?
I love it.
You fucking idiots. Like, you fucking idiots elected a fucking idiot. And
He's a
that's
genius.
what he's focused on. He's going to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
No, he's making America great
Great
again.
job. You wanted cheaper eggs
Yeah.
and your fucking cheese.
Hey. Those fighting words. I'm from
The
Wisconsin.
Gulf of America?
Oops, I messed up here. Where did we go here?
You're going to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf
She
of
got me
America.
flabbergasted.
Great job.
She went
You
after
wanted
my
cheaper
cheese.
eggs and your fucking cheese.
Yes, we love cheese here in Wisconsin. What's the problem?
Yeah, you can take your vacation down to the Gulf of America. Good
That'd
for
be
you.
great. Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Because, we haven't been able to say that.
Yes, exactly.
God damn, you guys are fucking idiots.
I think you're a fucking idiot too, so why'd you ask whisper? Check out this meme here. The Biden legacy. Biden crime family explained. 5 family members own 22 U.S. companies, 175 registered LLCs. That's limited liability companies for you Democrats out there. 233 bank accounts, but no visible goods or services, while taking in or raking in millions of dollars. Joe Biden is the product. That's what they were doing. Long after Biden is gone, history will remember the cowards who kept quiet and let this travesty go on. And that's just one of the things he did. The open borders are just awful, and Ukraine and also Afghanistan, just terrible. This has been the worst president in history by far. I thought Obama and Carter were bad, but this guy has been the worst because he's illegitimate to begin with.
So Congress just certified the election.
This was just after January 6th.
For Donald Trump. Democrats.
She got the mental illness oversized glasses.
Did not object for fear of optics. Optics are more important to them than democracy.
They seem to be very important to you, too. Look at those glasses.
So now we know, people, we're on our own. It's up to us.
To do what? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
No politician is going to save us.
What you gonna do?
No
What
act
you gonna
of
do when they come for you?
God
bad
is
boys,
going to
bad
save
boys.
us.
What you gonna do? What you
We
gonna do
are going
when they
to save
come for you?
ourselves.
Cops. Filmed
Now
on
you decide
location.
how you want
with the men and women of
to fight.
law enforcement.
What it looks like for you.
Oh, you're gonna fight, huh?
But the one thing you're not going to do is obey. You will not comply to the fascist agenda.
I bet she was wearing her mask a couple of years ago and getting all kinds of jab. Boom, 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 boom. That's complying.
Unless you agree with it. And if you do, you can never say that you're for freedom, and you can never call yourself a patriot.
Oh,
Today they
Lord.
certified the death warrant of democracy. And I, for one, am disgusted.
Oh, disgusted.
I know they just certified the electoral vote and all that stuff, but something isn't adding up for me. And it's not, I'm not talking about the election and the votes and stuff like that. I'm talking more like spiritually, something is not adding up. Like, there was our big awakening morning after the election. That happened. But also, I know in my gut something is off about this. And I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. I believe in the peaceful transition of power. It fucking sucks. I want to die knowing that that man is going to be our president again on January 20th. But there is just this feeling.
Makes me
that
feel so good.
something- It's not that it's not right, but that something's going to happen. Not in a scary way, more like a hopeful way. And I can't figure out where that's coming from. I know I'm not the only person to have that feeling, because everybody who's like in the intuitive space is like, there's something different here. And so I'm just like, I don't
She's in the intuitive space.
know what it is. My gut is like, something hopeful is gonna happen. I want to say it for the record, but it's also okay for us to be really sad and disappointed, because now we have to see his ugly orange face everywhere again.
She's got to throw up at the end. Right off the bat here, she's got the mental illness nose ring.
Downloads, and I verified with my cards. First, I asked if Monday the election will be certified.
Yes,
And-
it was.
No, the election will not be certified on Monday.
Your cards were wrong.
The answer to the first question was mid-deck. Next, I asked if the 19th of January will be a significant date. And I got a yes.
Hey, that's today.
It will be significant. This answer was actually in the top, 12 cards. So the third question that I asked was if Dumpty was going to be sworn in. That was a no.
We'll see about that.
This answer was down near the last quarter of the deck. So it might take a while for us to actually have that determination if Dumpty will be getting sworn in. But the answer is ultimately...
So he wasn't going to be certified. He wouldn't have been sworn in. So she was wrong right away. So why is she wondering whether he's going to be sworn in? Because according to her, he wasn't to be certified. So these people are just batshit crazy. Let's say it that way.
No. Downloads. And I verified.
Enough of you.
Everyone needs to stop and listen to this video. Whether you're
Why?
MAGA or whether you're a Democrat, it's going to give us a lot of answers. I oftentimes ask MAGA on my lives, is there anything Donald Trump could do to lose your support? And if you're MAGA, I want you to think about that question. Oftentimes the answer is nothing, or unalive somebody, or a video of him actually graping somebody, but then maybe not because it could be AI. What I'm about to tell you probably won't hit if you're MAGA, but I'm hoping it does. I saw this on another creator's page, but 39 years ago, a KGB defector predicted modern America. Russia has had a long-term goal of ideologically subverting the U.S. The first stage is called demoralization, which would take about 20 years to achieve. We're there. This has been the Soviet plan all along, to undermine the U.S., not in the battlefield.
The problem with their argument is that he was here warning us about them, about communists. The Democrats are communists. That's what he was warning us about. He was not warning us about people on the right.
Field, but in the psyche of the American public. So what it basically means is to change the perception of reality to every American, to the extent that despite the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their family, their community, and their country. This should be hitting you hard right now.
And that's exactly
They are programmed
that's exactly what the Democrats have been doing for the last 40 years or more.
to think and react to small stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind. Even if you expose them to authentic information, even if you prove that white is white and black is black, you still cannot change their basic perception and their logic of behavior. Therapists have been screaming at the top of their lungs that this is what we're going through. A person who is demoralized is unable to access true information. The facts tell them nothing. Even if I showed them information with authentic proof, with documents, with...
She doesn't know the difference between political ideologies. Her political ideology, as I said before, is what he was warning us about.
Pictures, even if you take them to a concentration camp, they will refuse to believe it until it hits them.
Oh, Lord.
Until literally they're the ones who are impacted. That is demoralization. That is where we're at right now. It goes on to say the next stage is
like people gyrating, men dressed as women gyrating in front of kids, and kids having their privates removed to try and change sexes. That's demoralizing. And that's by these people, communists. That's what communists do.
destabilization. This is what we're fearing with the Donald Trump presidency. It's basically targeting our structural elements like the economy, our foreign relations, and defense systems. Think about us removing ourselves from NATO, extreme nationalism, isolation. Elon has even said that our country under Donald Trump's plan is probably in for some economic pain, but it'll be worth it on the other side. What's the other side? Well, first of all, you have a crisis that would only be about 6 weeks, and the last stage is normalization. That's where your country is basically taken over, living under a new ideology and reality.
Her ideology.
I don't know how we stop it at this point.
That's what she...
People are failing
That's
to
what he was warning
understand
us
the
about.
impending danger of this
This woman's got it
development.
so wrong.
And nothing can happen. We can kiss our freedom goodbye. You guys think that we've been living in peacetime with Russia, when in fact they've been attacking us with disinformation, misinformation, and propaganda for decades. It's so bad that even Republicans, 40%, didn't mind if Russia interfered with our elections. And I don't know what to do.
It didn't happen.
Like, I guess this is why so many of us have been saying this
However,
is the FAFO state.
I've seen videos of China printing out U.S. ballots for the 2020 election. They were Chinese. I don't know what happened to that video. And there was some of the people that... it's one of the guys I think that the Biden administration has in jail right now because they wanted to shut him up on behalf of the Chinese Communist government.
Because until it literally hits them, they're not going to be able to snap out of it. We've been on this app for years trying to educate. Show proof. And now we know why none of it works. Interestingly enough, when they started this psychological warfare against us, it was targeted at Democrats and boomers. And what we've been noticing through the last few decades is a party switch, right? Those hardworking Americans that used to be Democrats have shifted over to the Republican side based on this.
That's because you don't care about them anymore. You're bringing in a bunch of foreigners to replace them with cheaper labor. And why? Because they vote Democrat. Because they're grateful for you bringing them here. Even though they don't make as much money as the Americans that had the jobs before them, they make a whole lot more money than they do back in their crap hole country.
Propaganda and ideology. And the more educated people that were Republicans, including myself, have shifted over to the Democrat Party. And now that makes sense to me.
Oh, you're educated.
I was trying to figure it out, but poof.
Perhaps it's the people that are educating you that brainwashed you into this nonsense. I mean, she's just learning about this guy now. I knew about this guy 30 years ago or more because we know what he was warning us about. He's warning us about them.
I mean, particularly weak-minded people, uneducated people, Christians.
Weak-minded.
Would be a great target.
She's so
as they already
condescending.
subscribe to a certain sort of ideology and are easy to manipulate.
I bet you she lives on the East Coast.
And honestly, that's not
Or California.
meant to be an insult.
How could anybody take that any other way but an insult?
It's just where we are right now. And so using this information, how do we proceed when it doesn't matter if they watch January 6th on television, watch people take flagpoles and beat down police? A jury.
Only after they were provoked. The people, and actually, most of the people that started the violence or encouraged the violence were FBI agents or Antifa. Antifa actually was there changing clothes there. It's on video. And there's also the Capitol Police. There were a bunch of bad guys there too. There were just people standing around and singing and chanting and stuff. And they fired these flash grenades into the crowd. 2 men had heart attacks because of that. Our fake president and our fake vice president, Kamala, lied that they said that 5 Capitol Police died that day. No Capitol Police died that day. It was 4 or 5 patriots that died today. 2 were clearly murdered. One was shot, and the other one was stomped to death and beat to death. And I can't remember her name. But well, maybe I'll play a little clip on that in a minute here, and we can take a look at that.
He finds our president to have sexually assaulted a woman. He has felony counts.
That woman claimed that 7 other men did the same thing to her. Oh, she's such a magnet that men just gotta have her, apparently. She's nuts. She did it exactly for the Democrat Party. She did this for the Democrat Party. They wanted to get Trump, basically. Trump was a billionaire. He doesn't need a woman like that. You have lots of different women. Why would he assault any?
We literally hear his rhetoric and how dangerous it is. But now we know it doesn't matter what we say. It's not going to change their perception.
That's because you're an idiot.
Or their reality. And what really concerns me is Donald Trump's relationship with Putin and how easy it is to manipulate him. He owes Russia. We potentially have like Russian sympathizers in charge of our national intelligence.
Oh, you people are crazy. Of course, you don't care about the congressman who's sleeping with Fang Fang, a Chinese CCP spy, and he's still on the Intelligence Committee in the House. The guy from California, I can't think of his name right now. Also, the senator from California, who's passed away now, I can't think of her name either right now. Her driver was a CCP communist spy for 20 years. They're all over the place in the Democrat Party, the Chinese. Oh, the person under the governor of New York is apparently a Chinese spy. That just happened a little bit ago. That's who's being infiltrated by the Communist Party of China. It's the Democrats. And Trump is a master manipulator. He's manipulating everybody else, not the other way around.
And unfortunately, MAGA, if you stayed to the end, it wouldn't matter what I showed you. You wouldn't believe it anyway.
Because you're an idiot and you don't have truth on your side. That's why. All right, this one I gotta translate. Honduran people, I want to express that we
Hondureño, quiero manifestar que esperamos que
hope that the new U.S. administration of democratically elected
Donald Trump
President Donald Trump will be open to constructive and friendly dialogue, not to take unnecessary reprisals against our migrants in the face of hostile attitude of mass expulsion of our brothers. We would have to consider a change in our cooperation policies with the U.S., especially in the military field, in which, without paying zero for decades, maintain military bases in our territory, which in this case would lose all reason to exist in Honduras. She doesn't think she's going to take all the illegals back, who she calls her brothers. Why won't she take them back? And if she does, then she's going to close the base down there. And I say, you want to bet? she's going to take them back and the base is going to remain. So she can bluster all she wants. she's not going to get what she wants. Trump's going to get what he wants.
I did not expect a big business to make me smile this early into 2025, but we've got a winner already. Costco basically told a bunch of MAGA protesters to go pound salt when they were asked to get rid of their DEI programs. They simply went, no. All these other companies caved under pressure under these threats, and Costco basically said, nope, diversity, equity, inclusion is a part of our core values, and we will not be getting rid of any of that. That's all it took. They're not getting rid of it. They just said no. All of these other businesses just went down without a fight. Costco said, nope, we're sticking with it. And guess what? DEI is good for business. There are multiple studies out there that show when you have strong DEI programs within your businesses, you have more revenue or you gain.
Oh, how could that be? That's just not possible. You're not hiring the most qualified people. You're doing it based upon the color of their skin. And it's obviously discriminatory against white people, the whole DEI initiative.
Gain more revenue. Why? Because you have a diversity of thought, a diversity of opinions, and it's not the same people who have all the same experiences making the decisions. You get a diversity of thought, which generally leads to better outcomes. This is the thing that
never does.
Republicans want to get rid of. The diversity of thought and outcomes, which drives higher revenues. Because it's more important to them to rally and rage up their base than to do something that makes economic sense. And Costco just went, screw you. We're doing this whether you like it or not. I hope more businesses look at this as a model and start standing up to this complete nonsense.
50 years ago in this town and a lot of other towns, we used to leave our doors open. We never locked them. Why? Why do we lock them now? Diversity. That should tell you something. So he's wrong about everything, of course. Wow. Enjoy your halal chicken there at this New York-based halal food vendor who just caught himself a live pigeon. And, I guess that's what he calls chicken, probably. That's your diversity for you. Because they always ask Democrats, well, what do these people bring to our country? Well, they bring new foods. Well, there you go. I guess you'd be eating the pigeon now. Oh, Cat Teared Up here says, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pigeons. Oh, looks like we have one that's sane here.
Democrat women that find me disgusting for voting for Trump, I find you disgusting for so many things. So the feeling is mutual, okay?
It is mutual.
The feeling is mutual. You disgust me, Democrat women, for being anti-women. You guys are snakes. You don't defend Title IX. You don't defend Riley Gaines. Your whole party voted against protecting women's sports. You murder your own children. Let that sink in. And then you want me to be friends with you? Why would I want to be a friend with a Democrat woman that murders her own children? Okay? I don't want to be near you with a 10-foot pole, and neither do these alpha males. And that's why the only ones that are impregnating you are probably beta losers that can't be a father, just like you cannot be a mother, because both of y'all are heartless. They're weak as a man, and you're weak as a woman. And I don't want to be your friend. So you disgust me. You betray women. You guys are snakes, and you would prefer to murder babies than Americans first. Bye.
I love her.
We've had to listen to you MAGA asshats complain and cry about the price of eggs. Oh, it's so expensive under Joe Biden. I can't afford the eggs. I can't afford gas.
Man, eggs, you used to be able to get 18 eggs for $1.50. Now you're paying almost $7. I mean, that is a big increase.
Yes, come on. Aren't you the party that tells everybody else just to pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Work harder, go get a second and a third job. Come on, Trumpers, where's that American spirit that you guys have? Instead, you whined and you bitched and you moaned. but yet you point your finger at everybody else and tell everybody else to work harder, go get a better job. You guys are incredible. The hypocrisy out of the Republic.
Actually, we just say, get a job, work. Most Democrats don't.
Republican Party, especially you, MAGA, is outstanding. It's incredible. Your hypocrisy knows no bounds. I can't stand Hillary Clinton myself, but man, was she right about you guys. You really are a basket of deplorables.
You can't stand Hillary Clinton? Sounds like you like her a lot.
Trump coming out and calling for a rally with his supporters January 19th, one day before the inauguration. Why would you need to do that the day before you are supposedly being inaugurated the 47th president? He wants those people here in town for when it becomes even more evident than it already is that under 14th Amendment Section 3, he cannot be sworn in. He's done. He knows it. He's known it for a while. Only thing is, they're ready for you this time, dude. Trump.
We'll see. We don't have to wait much longer. I think you're wrong there, buddy, but in 14th Amendment, they never charged him with an insurrection because he didn't. He told people to march up there and peacefully demonstrate, and at the time too. And the actual violence and stuff that was instigated by the undercover FBI agents, Antifa and BLM, started before Trump was even done speaking. Now, if people came there to see Trump, they're not going to leave and go up to the Capitol building before Trump's done speaking. But that's what happened. They were up there starting this stuff already because it was all a display. It was all a setup to get Trump people into the building so they could throw them in prison for years for doing virtually nothing. They kept people from seeing the truth on that too, because they wanted everybody to believe that it was an insurrection when they didn't even bring guns. There never was any plan or anything like that. They put people in prison for decades for just to sanctify a stolen election. That's what they did.
It's amazing to me that so many people are incapable of thinking for themselves. And that's why we're in this position today. In the past 4 years, we haven't had any terrorist attacks. And then all of a sudden, as soon as Trump gets voted into office, take a look. 2 terrorist attacks in less than a week.
What does that tell you? Tells you that the Democrats are crazy and that the bad people are out to get them, to stop them.
But somehow this is Biden's fault?
It is Biden's fault. And actually, he wasn't in office. Biden was still in office when those terrorist attacks happened.
You guys don't understand how absolute...
And the one in Vegas probably wasn't a terrorist attack, but he was actually trying to wake people up, supposedly, to the fact that the Chinese are so integrated into this country that they may be planning an invasion.
ridiculous you sound and how ignorant you are.
Ignorant.
You get every fucking thing that you deserve. And I hope you are the next victim of those terrorist attacks.
Is there a freak
at the
show
end of the day, if you think this is Biden's fault, you're clearly an idiot.
No, you're clearly an idiot because he was president when they happened. And I guess you don't understand Islam either, by the way.
I don't know how the hell I'm going to get through the next 4 years. I can't even speak his name without throwing up.
She got the mental illness nose ring there.
And now he's going to be my president. And everybody's just so okay
At least you admit it. Admit that he's going to be your president.
with it. And I get it. We can't change it. But I'm not happy. I'm scared. And I don't know.
You're scared of making the country greater again?
What to do about it because our hands are tied. But it just goes to show how off track this country is. How blind this country is, or how blind they choose to be.
Oh, wow.
You know, if you motherfuckers spent some more time researching who
Motherfucker.
the fuck you voted for instead of trying to...
She has a mental illness nose ring. Look at those hoop earrings. Those, I don't mind those. But these painted on eyebrows make her look angry all the time.
argue with Democrats and liberals and people that don't agree with you, you'd probably be a little more educated and you wouldn't have voted for him. if you motherfuckers...
Oh, is that all she says? Oh, We're not educated enough, apparently. Does she know that, we pretty much live and breathe politics? These people don't know shit about politics.
Did you know, however, there is a gender identity that is linked to the seasons? This is called gender season. And this is a gender identity I've only just learned about. It's a micro identity. It's not an identity that I have ever heard discussed before. It's a new one for me. Gender season is an individual who explores their gender identity in relation to a season or all the seasons. So this might be somebody whose gender expression and identity is linked to one season. So for example, winter. Or this might be somebody whose gender identity and expression changes depending on the season. Did you know, however, there is a gender identity that...
I am so much dumber for having watched that.
It's 2025, and I am fucking embarrassed to be an American. And I just want to
I'm embarrassed that you're an American, too.
apologize to the rest of the world.
I'm sorry we have so many cases of mental illness in America. And you see that on TikTok, and you think that represents all of us. It doesn't. I'm sorry, rest of the world.
And say that there is more than half of us that did not want this.
Are mentally ill?
I am so sorry. I am fucking embarrassed to be an American.
That you're an American.
That's all I have to say.
That's all I have to say.
Not to date seeing any evidence of anarchist violent extremists or people subscribing to Antifa in connection with the 6th. That doesn't mean we're not looking, and we'll continue to look, but at the moment we have not seen that.
There's literally Antifa getting into their Trump gear. They're wearing all black. It's so funny that they wear all black there and then get dressed in the Trump gear right there on January 6th in 2021.
Antifa! Antifa! Those guys are Antifa, trying to get us to attack you guys. That's not us. We love you, man.
Look at this. Tell me this ain't the most Antifa outfit you've seen in your life. This is literally what I wear to every single protest and riot when I riot.
I'll give you your hug now. We did it.
That girl worked for CNN. We did it, she said. They got the people to come in there so they could set them up.
Dude, I was trying to tell you. I couldn't say much.
You were right.
Is this not going to be the best film you've ever made in your life? Let me through. I got a knife. I got a knife.
Based on your investigation so far, do you have any evidence that the Capitol attack was organized by, quote, fake Trump protesters?
We have not seen evidence of that at this stage, certainly.
I just left the protest at the Capitol building, and I got a big bruise on my leg. I had a difficult time pulling off the act that I was paid to do. And I'm making this video because I want to confess that I was paid to pretend to protest today. I can't say by who, but I will just say that it's a organized effort.
This was a staged Antifa setup. The media's in on it. The police were in on it.
I can't debate. We got more people coming up. Let's get them down here in the black.
Antifa was disguised as Trump supporters today. Yeah. So Antifa wasn't walking around like they typically are, all dressed in black with their anti-fascist symbolism and their shield. Like, they were disguised as Trump people, and they were the ones who really led the charge.
As I was just kind of, taking pictures of my phone, reaching out to see what everything looked like, that man right there, I recognized him from multiple rallies I've done here in LA. That's Chad Loader. Chad Loader is known as like the head of the Antifa here in Southern California.
So there you go. That's just a little bit of a longer video that shows that they were completely involved in setting up the Trump supporters on January 6, 2021. So it's a total lie. So that's it for this episode of the Political Porn Theater. Hope you'd like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more on this channel. I started kind of slow, but I'm starting to ramp it up. So I will be back.
We'll be right back.